Hey everyone, I'm Marianne Mitchell, founder of Whole Artist Mastery, and I want to welcome you to the Whole Artist Mastery YouTube channel. We talk about what it means to really own your authentic voice and how that informs making compelling work, and what you want to do in terms of showing up in the world as a whole artist. I invite you to join the conversation with adding your thoughts and comments in the chat feed below. Today I'm going to be talking with you about these paintings behind me, the two paintings that I'm currently working on. I'm going to start off by showing you the progression in photographs, and that will lead you to where I am now. And then I'm going to share with you what I'm thinking at this point and whether I feel that the paintings are finished. And it is the first phase, Reckless Abandon. This is how it began. And so from there, I decided that I really didn't want this large, dark area in the middle. So in came the horizon line and the division between the top and the bottom, which I found interesting for a while, but I wanted to have a sense of, I wanted it to go beyond just being a landscape. So I put in this little black square, which is, I guess you would say, a harbinger for things to come. But then I decided, well, that doesn't really fit, and I got very involved in more muted tones here and continually developed this horizon line and continually felt like I wanted to push it beyond a horizon line. So this is what I did. I broke the horizon line and added this teal color in here, which brought a shock of color at this point to the painting, which is something that I very much like to incorporate in my work, is this one area of total darkness or bright color as an anchor in the painting. And so in this case, it's to the far left. And then I decided, well, I really wasn't deciding. This sort of just showed up. And I thought, well, now this is an interesting shape, but it's on the left and you get stuck on the left side. So from there, I flipped it over and it became this composition and felt like it needed actually to have some warmth, fiery red to balance the cool grays that the entire painting at this point was all about. And I found this very intriguing. This began to be the star of the show, or the crux of the story, which is this little box of like a black hole, except I see it as infinity, and then the structure around it that's holding this box of infinity. At this point, I decided that maybe it would be a more compelling composition if I got rid of this top shape and brought all of this over on top of the black shape, so you could see this large light shape juxtaposed with this small black shape. And so this is where it landed, and we will from here go and talk about what's currently on the wall. This is Reckless Abandon for the 24-inch square that's hanging on the wall. I started this on Mohegan Island in the summer of 2022, and I say that because I was responding to the misty water, the brilliant sun, and I almost left it at this point, but I felt like, I need to keep going. So there's that horizon line again, and the brilliant sunsets that I see every night when I'm on the island of Mohegan. But truthfully, I'm unable to remember why I decided to go beyond this, but here it ended up being, and got myself into a muddy mess at this point, but in some ways the paint is more intriguing, and from here I ended up at this point. and with the horizon line again, and the 1/3, 2/3, and I just found it rather boring, to tell you the truth. Very lovely surfaces, really interesting color combinations, but beyond that, the composition was falling short of the interest that the colors were creating. So that the composition and the colors and the surfaces were still without really talking to each other to create an overall whole dynamic painting. So we will go from here back to the wall, and I'll show you where we are now. So here we are with the current iteration of the 36-inch square painting, and I'm going to walk you through why I believe at this point it's at the marination phase, which is when you just let a painting sit and you look at it for a while and you try to figure out, is there anything left that needs to be added to the painting or taken away from the painting. I've worked very hard to calibrate various subtle color changes in the large shape, in the large light value shape, from a purpley pink all the way up to like a peachy pink and over to the upper right quadrant, which is a yellowy, sort of a cool yellow. The cool yellow is an opposite color to the warm purple violet here, and the peachy color with that filters into this faint but luminous aqua color holds the green aqua shape down here, so that it's a play on opposite colors working together in both quadrants, and it's also a balance between one very large shape being the lightest value in the whole painting, juxtaposed with a small but very dark shape, and how they work together to create tension and harmony in the piece, and how this particular area is that in-between color and shape that fits it all together. I'm thinking that this reminds me of this area here is like a box of infinity, and at the same time it's being held by this straightforward structure. So there's that dichotomy between a sense of infinity and a structure that's holding, like, how can you put infinity in a box? It's a tension in opposites coming together to create harmony. The yellow red right here really brings light to the light colors over here. So at this point, like I said, I'm just going to let this sit and see how I feel about it over the next couple of days. I'll let you know. Here we are with a 24-inch square painting I started on Monhegan Island in the summer of 2022. It's very different. I flipped it around so that the yellow is on the bottom now and unified this dark area that had a lot of different colors in it, and brought this light aqua green misty color at the top. I'm a little stuck on this piece. I really like where it is now, but there's something in me that feels like it has yet to really be resolved. So this is one of those moments I call a Scotch and Cigarette moment, virtual Scotch and virtual cigarette, where you sit on your stool or on your chair or stand and look at your painting for a while, for, a couple of hours, a couple of minutes, a couple of days, maybe even a couple of months. I've waited on paintings for a year, really, before I knew where I wanted to go with it or whether it was there. So I really like what's going on here. I feel that maybe something more has to happen here. I'm trying to figure out what the whether I want to bring this down into the dark or whether I want to bring the dark up into this color. It's a little divided too evenly, this yellow and this area up here. So I'm sitting on my stool with my virtual Scotch and cigarette and trying to see what the painting is going to tell me, or what I'm going to tell the painting, and how to move forward. So I hope you found this informative, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the chat feed below. And I'd love for you to like the video and subscribe to the Whole Artist Mastery YouTube channel. And then head on over to the website, Whole Artist Mastery, where you'll find classes that will support you on your journey. You can join the community and be part of Wham Wednesday, which is a free discussion once a month on Wednesdays, the third Wednesday of each month, I believe. When you are on the mailing list, you'll get notices about that, as well as some interesting commentary about things that are going on in the world, articles, podcasts. People send me things that they are finding interesting, and then I share that. So it's really about building a sense of community with artists who are on this path to really know their authentic voice, have that make compelling work, and be the artists that they want to be, and offer that whole energy to the world, which is in great need of a sense of unity, because we are living in a very fractured time. So the more each one of us can kindle that whole energy, the more we help to stem the tide of fracturedness. I really believe that, and I hope that you believe that as well. So thanks very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time.